Day 2 on our road trip to Alaska. I failed miserably recording on day 1. We put in 10 and a half hours, 700 miles, I want to say. Okay, so we are on day 2 of our road trip from Indiana to Alaska. And I failed miserably yesterday. I did not record anything. It was basically 10 and a half hours of driving through farmlands. Iowa brought us a little more rolling hills. We made it into South Dakota and spent the night in Sioux Falls. We put on about 700 miles. But today's going to be a little bit different, and we're going to visit the Badlands and Mount Rushmore and Devil's Tower. But as we're driving these roads, I'm reminded of the fact that my parents took this same route 65 years ago. And they had met in a little diner where my mother worked in Elkhart, Indiana. And they were both married at the time, had children, teenagers and grown, and they ran off together and left everything behind. And you think, oh, how horrible. But you know what? I am so proud of my mom for doing that, because that was not in her character. It just wasn't who she was. My dad, on the other hand, was a wild card, so I could see him doing that very easily. Well, my mom, she took the step out of her box and the world that she'd known all her life, and I can only imagine her emotions getting on that plane. Her best friend drove her to the airport in Chicago, probably the only airport around, flew to Des Moines to meet my father. Well, he became my father, and off they went. And I just wonder about her emotions, how she felt leaving her husband of, I don't know, 18, 19 years. And I'm sure she was ecstatic, excited, scared to death, and probably feeling a little bad. I know as she was nearing the end of her life, she said that if she had known how many people she was going to hurt by doing that, she probably would have never have done it. So thankfully we can't see in the future when we make these decisions, because as hard as it was for those around her, it was the best decision she made for herself. And we forget how important that is sometimes, that we need to think about ourselves before we think about everybody else. And it's not selfish. We've got one life, we have one time around, and you need to enjoy it. So that's what we're doing. We're off to the Badlands first, and I'll send some great pictures, videos, probably through TikTok. But stay with me. It's going to be a great time.